The basic principle of half guard. It doesn't matter. How you got here doesn't matter, nor does your opponent's positioning right there, okay? The basic principle of half guard. I have two basic forms, and from there, it opens up to many others. But there are two positions I need to be in when I'm in half guard. Either one or the other, otherwise I'm screwed. This position here, leg controlled, back on the ground. Come on, guys, we're fighting here. What would you do in this situation? This right here, that's it. Because I'm screwed, okay? So I can't be in half guard like this. Closed guard, back on the ground. In this case here, if I can't win the fight to get to the two positions I can be in, which I'll tell you about in a moment, right here, I would already start working here, my brother, trying to get a hook in to work the butterfly half guard here, okay? It's much safer if I'm in butterfly half guard here than if I'm in closed half guard in this situation. So in half guard, I need to be in one of the two positions necessarily. Either I have the underhook, elbow on the ground. I'll show you in a moment how we get here. Or I'm in a deep half guard, down underneath him. We're going to work on all of this. Both types of half guard and their variations, okay? But I have to be in one of these two. Either I'm down here or I'm off to the side hugging over there, all right? Why do I want you to memorize this? So you don't end up here. Because this here is never going to get you anywhere. If it's MMA, you're going to get punched a lot. If it's ground fighting or MMA and you're trying to develop something, man, it's way easier for him to advance to pass your half guard than for you to do anything else. So, all right. But usually we start in a certain situation. A crappy situation here, the guy's smothering you like crazy. This is where we start from. And the principle, it's going to be the same one we used to relieve the side control pressure. That's why we did side control first. Because the idea is the same. I'm going to need to relieve this shoulder pressure here, and I'm going to need to work a shield in Pachoka's face. So I have to relieve this shoulder pressure here. A very good way to relieve the shoulder pressure is to bring your hand inside here. All right, go ahead and put the pressure on, Pachoka. I bring my hand inside his shoulder here and pull, I rotate. Most of the time, this is enough for me to be able to work my shield. I'm not going to stay here because I'm not going to win this fight, damn it, but I'm here with him. I'm trying to push the hips to see if the guard didn't work. I come here, I look over there first, then look here to create space, and then come back here. I always come in here firmly. Never bend your wrist. Always like this. I worked my shield. This hand here can help me again so I can get my underhook inside. There's a lot of pressure here. Don't lose this shield anymore. Stay here. Can I use that same hand I used in side control? I can. But now you have to pay attention because since he's not turned to the side, he's not like this. He's like this. So for him, getting the Katagatame there is much easier. So you have to be very careful if I'm going to use this hand of mine to relieve the pressure. I can't use it upwards. I can't bring my elbow over here. My elbow has to stay anchored there, and I have to push it that way. It's different from side control. In side control, I can go upwards because my elbow is here and the angle he's at is this one. Now he's at this angle here, look. He's much closer to a Katagatame. You need to keep this in mind too. It's easier not to finish the Katagatame. Finishing the Katagatame is easier from side control because you can mount and dismount more easily. But to set up the Katagatame, it's easier when he's in half guard than when he's in side control. Come to side control, guys, please, so you can understand what I'm talking about. Look here, see? Tap my elbow right here. My elbow is much tighter against the hip here, see? Because of his position. My elbow is closed against the hip. So for him, getting into side control here is harder. Here, I work upwards. It's harder for him to get side control. Now stay right here. Just move to half guard. Come into half guard here, see? Look how the angle changed. Look, he's almost under my elbow now. So whenever the guy is inside my half guard, you have to be very careful with the Katagatame. Be very careful with the Katagatame, okay? So if I'm going to use this outside hand here, just like we did in side control, I can use it, but not upwards, forward. This is going to provoke a reaction. He's going to push back. And when he pushes back, you see it's automatic. Did you see how he lifted up a little there? Look at how he was positioned. He was here. Because for him to come back, he usually uses this base hand here to overcome my hand. When he gives that little lift, I like to use it when the guy is really strong. On top, I like to use it here. I give a little push there, look back, and when he comes back up there. Oops, I pummel through. Sometimes you don't need to. Sometimes the guy is a little higher up here, and just this hand here is already enough. Look, the shield is working here, supported on his arm. Look, closed up here so there's no Katagatame. So the first fight is to relieve the shoulder, relieve the shoulder. And sometimes if he's applying pressure here, looking up, I can't get my hand in. I look over to where he is, pushing my face over there. Look, I go inside. I relieve the shoulder, shield. Look, at the same time, I'm applying pressure here. I've got my shield there. Push here, Pastor. You can throw your shoulder in my face. Here, come. Look, look. From here, in this fight with him, as he's throwing his shoulder there, from here, I already pummel. Or if he's more solid here, pushing forward. When he comes back, I pummel. In this pummeling, foot on the ground, little turn. And this is important. Very important here. I can't put my hand on the ground here, otherwise he'll win. Come on. I'm going to hide my elbow behind me to come up. I'm going to hide my elbow behind me. I'm not going to put my elbow here. I'll hide it behind me because then he can't pull and I don't get stuck here. I throw my shoulder forward when I go, not forward, otherwise I'm screwed. He doesn't pull just a little. He never pulls. That one pulls, that one pulls, that one pulls. And here, if I have my arm stretched out, depending on his goal, he might even loop it around from behind. There, look. He goes with his hand behind my back there. So try there, look. Okay, so when I hide my elbow behind me, I throw my shoulder forward here. Look, that way I'm really well protected. And then the other adjustment I have to make here for those who've been around longer, look, one thing I can never do, which is a common mistake, okay? I'm here. I'm hooked over here on his leg. I can't be over here on the other side. This is just asking to get choked. See? And nothing I try here is going to work. Nothing at all that I try here will work. I stay on the same side that I'm working on. And then the last adjustment I make is to listen to his heartbeat. I have to press my ear against his chest here. Look. Don't stay here, see? Here, he puts the shield right in my face. Look. He puts up the shield and takes control of everything down there again. So here's the thing. When I'm here, let's talk physics now. My weight is supported in this direction. All my weight is on the tip of my elbow. So if you manage to move the count, I'm going to try to defend, okay? Pull. All right, put it there. Now come with your hand pulling. Good. The tip of my elbow. When I throw my shoulder forward, my weight is no longer on the tip of my elbow. It's on my wrist. My weight is here. When I do this, I'm putting my weight here. But then we have the whole forearm creating friction on the mat. And guys, I know all of you skipped physics classes in school, I know. But the larger the friction surface, the greater the resistance. Here, little contact surface, little resistance. And all my weight is here. When I throw my shoulder forward, my weight is on my hand. And there's a huge contact surface. Plus, it's harder to reach there. You can pull now, go ahead.
As much as you want. It's because, like, when it happens during sparring, the guys do this here. I go to the hand and I throw my weight and bring it here. Look, I do this because I'm mad.
Look how much harder to pull there.
Yeah.
You get it?
Yeah, man. And I give my leg as bait for the deep half guard.
Yes.
But usually I can do this. That's why I asked about it.
So, but because usually the guys are probably here. Look, here you'll always be able to do it. Yeah.
They lack shoulder projection.
You can do it here.
So I do this here.
To here. Then you'll always be able to do it. Now that's why I'm saying you have to get used to coming up here. See? Pull it over there. No? Another technique I use is this. Shoulder over wrist so you can't get a grip.
Exactly. That is exactly what I mean.
Another technique I use when I just realized now I didn't even notice that I was doing it, but I do. Because when you went, I automatically did it too. Go ahead, pull there. I come here, look at my forehead. At my forehead working, I can't even forward. You get it? When I do this here, I'm projecting my weight here and my shoulder into your ribs to fight with you. So here I'm using my abs, look. And here with this reaction of yours, I'm going to have a bunch of escapes and sweeps available to me here. Try this reaction, as there's not much else you can do.
It's the start of escaping the position.
Exactly, excellent question. So what you need to get is this movement, right? When I go into this movement, it's important. I pummel, turn to the side with my hips close up, and I'm going to come up. Don't stop here, come up here, and this can save you, even against the cage, okay? A lot. This right here, look, it's much harder for the guy to get his glove in here to control your wrist than it is here, see? Okay, so here, look. I hide it back there, put my shoulder on the wrist like this. Man, from here to rip my arm out, damn, it's tough. And here I use my abs to press my shoulder against his ribs. This is my position right here, because then he gets into a situation where it's like this. The more he tries to force it, the easier it gets. all the escapes I'm going to do here, okay?